Hello everybody and welcome back to Animal Crossing New Leaf. Got some mail, as always. Well, not as always. Sometimes we don't have any mail. Frisk, why? I'm ignoring you. So, as you can probably tell, I have a chair again. It's nice. It's a pretty nice chair, too. I can lean back. It's really good. You can get a headrest. It's pretty cool. I quite enjoy that. So, it's from Costau, the jerk. Hey, Stephen, I got to represent. There's no reason for it other than I like you and stuff. You're my favorite rival. Come play with me soon. I mean, come exercise soon. Totally buff Costello. I think you mean totally jerk. Oh, it's lovely carpet. Oh, yes, such lovely carpet. So I was in and checked the morning turnip price. I did realize that I didn't actually come over and check if there was anything in the plaza. Thankfully, there is not. Though everything would still be active right now anyway. Yeah, turnip prices were not good this morning. So, unless they're really good right now, I think we've lost some bells this week. Yeah, I'm selling now. We'll break even, just about, if I sell right now. If I don't sell right now, we are going to lose bells. So, I should have sold this morning. We could have maintained a tiny profit, because this morning it was 74. It wouldn't have been a big profit, but it would have been a tiny one. And that's better than losing bells, like we're doing, basically. I guess I'm keeping this flooring, because I don't feel like doing 2 trips. Jeez. I apologize if I'm a little gassy. I just finished eating some burgers right after depression, eating some peeps, and that is not a great combination. It's one of those things, and I'm sure people can kind of relate to this in a way, where, like, I've been in quite the, like, depressed funk, and I was gonna go for a walk tonight if it snowed, and then it just never snowed. It was supposed to, but it didn't. It snowed a bit, like, before midnight, but I didn't want to go for a walk until, like, 1, 2 in the morning. Just nicer. There's less people around. I did see Barbara. Ooh, she wants to buy a pot. Decide whether or not to buy the TVs. What do you think? Buy it. Seems like it would fit your house. No, I'm not in cahoots with the seller. But yeah, it didn't snow, so I didn't actually get to go for a walk. But I did, you know, I sat around, was depressed for a while, and then I was like, you know what, I got a bunch of sweets. Sweets typically can kind of help with depression. Kinda, a little bit, maybe, sometimes. Eh? So I started eating some. And now I'm just tired. I'm still feeling blah. But I'm tired now. Also, Frisk, why are you... Look, I know... Okay, where is it? Hit my headset on the... Where is your ball? There is your ball. This is what she wants me to throw for her. She got a drug ball for Easter. There's no other way of putting it. It's a catnip candy ball. This is not it. This is just a random little foam ball that was in her toys. This is the one she loves. It's on the bed. I know you're back there, and I really wish you wouldn't be, because this chair rolls way too easily. Yeah, I've mostly only just, like, been playing Phantasty Star today. I do know that I really need to get back streaming more, because, like, I miss streaming, and then I'll do it, like, a day, and then my brain will just be like, eh, and then I won't be able to for a while. It really sucks. And I know it's this time of year. Like, basically the first, like, 3 to 4 months of the year tend to just suck for me mentally. Same with, like, the last couple months. Basically, there's, like, a 6-month span in there that really sucks for me mentally. It's not good. Yeah. I'm just dealing with one of them funks. I do feel like if I got out of the house a bit, it might help, but again, I wanted to go for a walk in the snow, and then there wasn't any snow, so I was just like, you know what? Phantasty Star is kind of fighting it off. I'm just gonna play Phantasty Star, so that's what I did. Of which, I gotta say, as much as I do feel the global release is good for Phantasty Star Online 2, it is definitely missing some stuff that it could have used. The biggest of which, just simply being, when you're out, like, exploring, doing an expedition. I'll talk with you in a minute, Costa, I want to finish this thought. You can encounter various other groups, like ARX groups, or just some natives, or just, random events. Emergency Code Unites. There are crossover events with the other Phantasy Star games that can happen. The games that were bigger out of Japan than in Japan. Like, stuff whether like this makes me want to work my order. It is up the road. Let's check. Did you see the golf event on TV last night? Nah, I don't watch golf, man. What? You didn't watch it? I'll tell you about it. The winner was... you can tell me. But it was fun to mess with someone who doesn't know the sport score. If you don't care, it takes all the fun out of it. Yeah, I don't really care about golf, if I'm honest. Yeah, but I'm gonna see you. What can I do for you? So watch out, O'Hare. I'm so sleepy. So way too late last night working on a special note for someone special. To whom? It doesn't matter. I might never send it. Point is I ran out of juice. Sucked out. I mean, sure I can get my pet back if I had some fruit. Give me a piece. 1 piece? Sure. I can get you the 1 piece. How about this peach that's been on the ground for like half a month and is probably rotten? But like, I will say one complaint that I have. The VizPhone wiki is not up to date. Be a little sweeter, amigo, and do something as thanks. Should it be, how about this? It's a go-go shirt. I don't want to be a go-go girl. And that, to my knowledge, is the only English wiki for the Japanese Phantasy Star Online 2. Look at this look. Trying looks so very cute. So if it would totally flop if it wasn't for the cute days tee I have on. That is your outfit. I think it would flop without it because that is your outfit. Oh jeez, I apologize, I'm so burpy. But yeah, like, I was trying to look up just like what experience quests are currently in rotation, and VizPhone was only showing the North American server ones, and it's like, no, there's so many. I'm literally looking at one that is none of those. So I had to go tracking to the Japanese wiki for PSO2, which, as you might imagine, is entirely in Japanese. And I had to struggle with Google Lens because I don't know enough Japanese. Crazy fans want towels used by their favorite musicians during concerts, right? That's true devotion, you know. Hey, you should buy my gym-worn shanty mat. Guaranteed to go up in value. For you, I'm knocking the price down to 3. Yeah. Alright, man, I'll buy your trashy mat. I might get about that back on it. Jerk. And even it didn't seem to have everything, but that could just be Google Lens failing to translate some stuff. There's definitely a lot more urgent quests in the rotation on the Japanese server as well, though a lot of those are tied to various other Phantasy Star game crossovers. So, like, it does really feel like they kind of forgot some stuff, and admittedly, it's not that important. It's not stuff that if you didn't know you were missing it that you would miss. Honestly, there's some changes that were made for Global that are really good. Like the removal of, like, well, good for the player, bad for the vibe. Like the removal of the experience quests. You know, where you basically do a quest to unlock the ability to level up. There's one at level 30, one at level 40, and even the Japanese server has done away with the one that was at level 50, and 60, and 70, and 80. They've just rounded all of those into just the one at 40, which is fair. Go pursue survival. 67. Want to talk to me? Let's chat. There's a rumor of Peck Santa moving out of town. What do you think about that? Might as be a baseless rumor. I'm a bit curious anyway. Yeah, he's moving. Oh, jeez, I have only found 2 fossils today. But, yeah. I was on a train of thought there. But yeah, like, there's definitely some changes to the global server that are good and appreciated from a gameplay perspective. Again, from a flavor perspective, I'm a bit mixed on them. Like, even just making mention of it, like, it probably doesn't sound all that appealing gameplay-wise to you guys to hear, like, oh yeah, at level 30, well, it's not even at level 30, it's before you reach 30, you have to go and do an experience quest so that you can actually level up past 30. And then you gotta do the same at level, you know, between that point and level 40, or else you'll be stuck at level 40. But, you know, past that you can level to 100. And, like, it's purely a flavor thing of they're making sure you're ready to be pushed to the higher difficulties. Like, it makes sense. From a flavor perspective. Gameplay-wise, it is padding. It was there to slow the players down. Like, it's why there really wasn't anything past 70 for the leveling quest. I think there was one at 80. And then past that, it was just, you could level to 100. Well, to the level caps, and then eventually to 100. Well, I think just 70 was the end, now that I'm thinking back. So, you know. It's very much one of those things where it was just there to be a gate to slow the players down so that the players didn't get to the end game content before the end game content was ready. I get it. Every MMO does it. Not all of them will squish that content back down. Hey Margie, Steven, what a coincidence. My volume dial gets nudged. This cord being so short is driving me a bit nuts with the chair now, because it keeps getting, the little box keeps getting snagged up on the arm of the chair. What can I do for you? Let's talk. There's a lot of new faces I'm walking around town, like yours. My face ain't new. You've seen me plenty of times. Hey Henry. Steven, I'm glad to see you're doing well. Yeah, kinda felt like taking a trip to Oracle. Thinking of that, Caroline was one of my hotel guests in New Horizons. Man, that was so nice. I love how your old villagers can come back for that and that they remember you. That's so just nice. Like, they did not need to do that, but I'm glad they did. But, yeah, there is something Phantasy Star Online 2 related I want to do. And that is, I more or less want to do a video, or possibly series of videos, on effectively how each class plays, as well as, like, recommended subclasses, and a comparison to be like, you know, if you play, say, Final Fantasy XIV, this is what this class is similar to, in a way. Goodness, Steven, the mission is finished. Yes, it is. And 600,000 bells. I'm halfway there. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa. I'm not even gonna continue that. I'm just living. Repay the loan. Voice crack. No, I just want 4s as all of my bells. Just all of them. I have things to sell, so I could just spend all my bells on that. But like, I kind of want to do that. Just so I can be like, here's a bunch of things to look at if you're interested in the game. And also play the, you know, here's how to gain access to the tweaker. Play the Japanese version. I think that's honestly going to be my recommendation for anyone interested in playing the game. Like, if you don't want to deal with the tweaker, the global server is fine, I guess. You want the go-go shirt? Alright. Name press. Sure. 90 cents for a shirt? Wait. 108? But you just said 90. What? He was just like, 90, and I'm like, cool. And he's like, 108! What? Did he just reach into his pocket? It was like, oh, I got $1.08 here. Okay. But yeah, like, I understand people not wanting to deal with the tweaker, but, like, honestly, it's not that much work. And you do gain access to a much more full game that admittedly does have some things that are not translated. So, like, you're not going to get probably the full story experience unless you stop and translate things, which Google Lens is not bad for. But I also would understand someone not wanting to do that, but you can find the story just watching it in videos. Usually you're playing a game for the story and the gameplay, and PSO2 is much more gameplay side in my opinion. The story's great. Don't get me wrong, the story is fantastic, but the story is also something you can experience through watching. You don't need to actually be playing the game to experience it, because it is its own separate little mode, which is nice. I quite enjoy that. But I mean, the global server works, and if you wanted to, you could download the global server, play through the base game's story, and maybe New Genesis' story if you really want to play through that as well. And then download the Japanese client and properly play the game that way. Especially because then you could just leave the North American NGS installed, and it's only like 50-some gigabytes, and then, you know, have the full Japanese client installed so that you can just go back to the New Genesis stuff and play through it, you know, as it's releasing, because they are still releasing more. So, you know, Sabes. Nah, I just want to chat, girl. Every week after we close up on Thursdays, I like to relax and watch a little TV. Staying Mabel recorded my favorite soap for me, Pointed Love. Two main characters are porcupines who break up, get back together, get together, break up again. You know, typical soap routine. What happens next week? I can't wait to see what Esther's up to. She came back in season 5. There's a spoiler in Porcupine TV Weekly about how Reginald will be getting a quill transplant. Again. But really, it's that indecisive heroine who keeps me watching. Sometimes I get jealous of her. And that is fair. Wizard hat. It can be a wizard. It is a good choice. I want to try it on. Yes. My sparkly dunce cap. Yes, I'll keep it. Who you calling Cone Head? Oh, I'm so sleepy. I'm like food tired, which is like the worst kind of tired. Because I got hiccups. I know if I lay down, I'm gonna get heartburn. Because I've got so much food in me. It's not good. It's I wouldn't recommend. No, I'd recommend Phantasty Star Online too. One of these days I will stop shilling that game, but like, man, it's, in my opinion, it is one of the best MMOs ever made, if not the best. And it is the best story Sega has ever told. The base game, anyway. New Genesis is still being told, so it's hard to really judge it. Now, it's definitely not starting as strong as base PSO2 did, but I'm not gonna hold that against it because it has won me over. The biggest issue I'm seeing with New Genesis is just how quickly they jumped to level 100. So now the level cap is, I think, like 130. Like, I get the feeling we're gonna be in a 255 situation by the end. Okay, carry one more. Now I should go put these bushes away, sell the rest of the stuff at retail. Well, the bushes in the hat. But like, New Genesis has definitely won me over. The gameplay of New Genesis is arguably better. It's also arguably worse. It's one of those situations, which is not a bad thing. As much as I'm sure some people would argue it is. But like... Okay. Holly, Azalea... I'll just put this here. But like, the main difference... Hi, Dina! Come to pay you a visit. Aw, didn't have to. I could have came to visit you. Hey, girl. Just to see if you'd like to play. I mean, I'm wearing a wizard cap. It's good to see you. Know you weren't expecting me, so I'm lucky you're home. Little guitar, huh? I've always thought it'd be great to write a song for a friend. You do have a lot of musical instruments in your home. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Where, she came to visit, she won't actually want to see the other rooms. But like, the gameplay-wise is a lot more fast and fluid, with a lot more, like, emphasis on chaining skills rather than finding your chain that focuses back through your basic attack, which is often still part of your combo, but it's not an essential part anymore. It's just however you feel like flowing. Like, my force on, the global server, you know, my main character that I've used for streaming, I basically don't touch my basic attack until I've got the boosted basic attack ready, then I use it. But I need to have that boosted attack ready, and I don't need to be using it otherwise, which is nice. I can just be spamming spells like a mage. Where in the base game, there's a lot more to do with perfect timings. Your all of your PP consuming attacks use a mountain of PP, so like you're going to be going through PP a lot, so you're going to be basic attacking to get your PP back so that you can do your perfectly timed attacks again. So like they're different. Neither is better than the other. Like, it does mean that skills don't tend to translate one-to-one. It's kind of fun to watch you in your natural habitat. No. There she goes. I should get going. I've taken enough of your time. Thanks for chatting with me. No problem, Deans. Like, I am very much in the camp where I'm just like, both are fun. I like both. I have seen some people who are very adamantly against New Genesis's gameplay. And the funniest of that is somebody I know who is very adamantly against it because they don't like the removal of the perfect attacks. But also, they are pretty... They often are basically like, man, I can't really do these anymore. It's like, wouldn't it be great if there was a game you could play that doesn't have them? They had thought about trying the luster, and then you know, basically the highest damage output from a luster is with a fire or dark weapon, where you need to be basically using a technique, well, a photon art, because if it's for a weapon, it's a photon art. If it's magical, it's a technique. That's basically how it goes. You need to use one of the photon arts. The literal frame, it becomes available, like the literal frame, its perfect attack trigger happens. And there is a pretty easy way of doing that, but it's pretty quick timing. Like, you gotta be good at what you're doing. And just hearing that, he's like, nah, I guess I won't do it, because that sounds too hard. It's like, it's really not if you give it a try, but like, I'm just telling you how to do it, so you don't, you know, think you're doing it, but you're not. Because, I mean, just using the fire or dark weapon will get you more damage output, because it has a higher damage bonus on it, so you might think you're doing it right when you're not, because you're not realizing that there should be a little thing orbiting around you, and there's not. I mean, for the most part, you just use the light weapon and don't really care about getting the little orbiting thing going, and you use a light or wind weapon purely, or no, it's not light and wind, it's light or ice, because it's one from each tree. So it's one force, one Tekker element. Light is Tekker, ice is force. But like, you use that mostly because it's the best crowd. It's basically the best mobbing weapon. It fires a piercing ranged shot. It is the best for just doing regular gameplay with. You only dig out the fire or dark weapon when you're bossing. And that's just to get the extra few little ticks of damage. And even then, that's only if you're actually within range, because it is pure melee range, and some bosses will pull back out of melee range, and you need a ranged attack, so you're still using that light or ice gunblade quite often. I do also take some issue with some of the translations from the tweaker. The primary one is how they translate. Well, there's two primary ones, and it's one's to do with how they translate the minions of the bad guys, the fall spawn. They have in text it as darkers, but that is not what is being said. Like, it is, you know, it's much closer to fall spawn. It's basically what they're saying is dark spawn. So, dark falls, you know, they're close. Darker is an older translation from the older games that, let's be real, sounds a little sketch. Like, it does not sound like a great thing to be calling things. And the other is the character Risa. They translate her name as Lisa. They do not say Lisa. They say Risa. It's just the Japanese R sound is a mix of an R and an L. But they're saying Risa. Literally, her name is written Risa. It is written Ri, R-I, Sa, S-A, Risa. That is her name. Which is why I call her Risa or Resa in the global server. I mean, that's what Sega translated her name to be. Like, most of those names, they did not change between the versions. A few of them they changed a little bit, but they did not change them. Wouldn't you think if her name was, you know, Lisa, that they would have left it as Lisa? It's really annoying. Oh, jeez. And I know that's just, like, a me complaint, because, like, Risa is one of my favorite characters. Raw fish! Thought there was bigger things in the ponds. I'm gonna come check the cafe pond and see what's going on up here. Okay, nothing up here. Like, you know, there's a few of the translations that were done that I take a bit of issue with, and to be fair, if I wanted to put the effort in, I could probably stop and basically apply to be a translator for the game and go through and start fixing a lot of the what I would consider mistranslations of the tweaker. Because, like, it would be nice to have it as accurate as possible. But I do imagine that they'd probably be pretty resistant to a big change like a character's name that they've had translated for literally years now. I mean, the tweaker, I believe, officially launched in 2016, which is like 3 years after the game released, because it took them that long to basically build out a translation that was good enough to be useful to people. I think it had like beta testing earlier, but for the most part it basically came out like 2015, 2016, where the game itself came out 2013. But yeah, it would be nice to fix things up and have things translated the way they should be translated. When you can listen to the dialogue and have some understanding of the language, and then you're able to go and search things up and realize, ah, yeah, that's not saying what they say it's saying. And, like, I can't blame them too much on the darker thing, because, again, that is basically a continuation of a translation from the really old games, you know, from the 80s. Which probably explains why darker got used in the first place and it was used for an English translation. Like, yeah, it's, you know, it's at least a little understandable. But, yeah, I swear, tomorrow I'm gonna not yap more about Phantasy Star. I'll do my best not to. I will say, probably my only complaint about this chair is the arms of it are a very, like, rough cloth. Like, I don't know what kind of cloth it is, but it's very rough, and, like, you can kind of see the red on my elbow. But it is definitely better than the dining room chair, which had no arms on it at all, so you know, I'm not gonna complain. And I didn't pick out the chair. I basically just told my sister, like, hey, go ahead, because she had already picked one out. And this does have, like, you can raise the arms on it, which is nice. It's perfect for a fatty like me, so I can just raise the arm and get out of it. I don't actually need to do that, but it is a pretty nice chair. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not complaining. You know, it's just got a few small issues with it that I can probably solve. Just not leaning as much on my elbows would probably solve a lot of that. But I mean, that's kind of the reason I need the arms in the first place, is I, like, this may sound dumb, but I kind of use my, like, elbows and arms to keep the rest of me upright so I don't just, you know, basically what I've been doing in the dining room chair. And, you know, the thing that really pushed me over was being able to feel my organs. I shouldn't be able to do that, and it's because I've been slouched too much and I'm squishing them and they're not happy. And squishing them is not a good thing. It's not a thing I should be doing. Not with the ticking time bomb I have literally around, you know, here-ish. So, you know, kinda... yeah. It's, you know, probably not the best idea. But yeah, I mean, I suppose I'm also up later than I have been for a while. I've been going to sleep at like 6. So I don't think I'm going to edit today before I go to sleep. I'll just edit when I wake up, but that's fine. I don't have anything to do when I wake up anyway, so I can edit. I'm going to probably open Vegas just so I don't forget, but yeah, that's going to be it for today. I do thank you all very much for watching, and hopefully I shall see you back here tomorrow, where I will hopefully not ramble a crap ton about Phantasty Star Online 2, because I believe, if I have counted right, tomorrow is the 100th day of the year. So, I don't have anything planned for that, but it's a milestone. It's pretty neat. It was a lot more impressive that I made it to day 100 2 years ago. At this point, I'm on day... geez, what would it even be in total? Because it was 366 the first year, 365 the next, and then if we add another 100, tomorrow would be day 831 of Animal Crossing every single day. It's a lot of days. And if you've ever watched these videos and wonder why I don't just talk about nothing but Animal Crossing, I've been doing this for 830 days. It's a lot of days. But yeah, again, thank you all very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you back here tomorrow for more Animal Crossing New Leaf. See you all then.